Awesome. All right, today we're here with Griffin, who's a 9-year-old Brussels Griffon, and his guardians actually adopted him from the Nebraska Humane Society only 3 weeks ago, so he's new to this family. And they contacted us because he has been showing some guarding behavior over their younger daughter, who's about 10 years old, and he's been trying to guard the door, barking at the door, and kind of rushing towards the door. So those were the main things that we wanted to work on today. So the first thing that we talked about was rules and what kind of rules that he had. And he didn't have a lot of rules in place, but it's easier to establish new rules with a dog that just came into the home. So that's perfect that they called us so quickly so we could kind of make sure we changed the structure in the house. So we implemented a couple of rules, which are to no furniture for 30 days or until the unwanted behaviors stop, and then only furniture with permission. So then he'd have to ask permission by having him sit and then saying up or whatever command word they want to use. And then he has permission to get on the couch or furniture. If he were to get off on his own, remember that that does not give him permission to just jump back up. He has to ask for permission again. So every time he gets on the furniture after the 30 days, he has to have permission, including the bed. And so the main things that we want to do today were to establish a leadership position for the owners and the guardians. Now he had a past history of this kind of guarding behavior, so this was the first time probably for little Griffin that a leadership position was taken from his guardians and letting him be the follower. He actually was very responsive to the leadership exercise where the guardians had claimed a food treat reward on the floor and about a 2 to 3 foot radius around it, and then he was only allowed to take the reward when given permission. He responded very well. So I think Griffin has been waiting for someone to come in and say, I'll take that responsibility off you, buddy. Don't worry about it. We've got this. And he noticeably relaxed in the home. He's been laying on the floor in a very relaxed position since we've done that exercise. Then we worked on the claiming the door exercise, which we saw is in the previous video. And he actually, on the second try, was very quick to stand behind the boundary, only tested the boundary a couple of times. He did keep barking, but over time that will cease. One thing I want to suggest to the guardians is to ask their friends and family who are coming over to let them know when they're almost there, and then mention to them that they're working on this with their dogs so they have a little bit of patience with them so Griffin can get used to having different people coming to the door where the guardians can do this exercise successfully. And then we finished with doing a structured feeding where Griffin has to respect the boundary of the kitchen while the food is being prepared. And then after it's put down, then the guardians will point to it, say eat, and that's his cue that he can eat. And the guardians will then leave the kitchen area so he can eat on his own, which is respecting his space. So I think that Griffin will do actually really well. He's been very responsive to all the exercises, and he'll be a very relaxed and happy guy now that some of this responsibility has been taken away from him and placed onto his guardians. So this is Griffin's roadmap to success.